Dear Mr. Vardi, welcome to the 36th Independent Film Fest Osnabrück. And we are honored to celebrate the German premiere, actually, of your latest documentary film, Marry Me, However. So first of all, thank you for being here with us today. And even if it's just virtually, you made a beautifully raw portrait of three individuals who identify both as Orthodox Jews and as gay, and try to come to terms with this seemingly impossible combination of identities. And we get to know them in the film and some of their ex-partners in a deeply, deeply personal way, as they share their despair of being in a marriage that is so one-sided. And throughout the film, it became clear that these are not just single stories, but that there's many, many Jews who listen to the advice of their rabbis and entered heterosexual marriages despite their actual orientations. So what made you decide on these three stories? How did you come up with them? How did you find them? And how did you find the protagonists for the film?
Yes, I have to say that it's really a phenomenon, because I have 7 children, 5 boys and 2 girls, and my 2 daughters were dating with homosexual religious boys who wanted to create a Jewish kosher families. So I started this film with a student of mine, Tzvi, who in the film he went to he first got divorced, and then he moved to live with his partner, with a gay partner, in the end of the film. So he is a son of a rabbi, and when I met him, he was really a religious, very religious boy, and very he was a student of screenwriting department in the school where I was charged on the screenwriting department. And I really liked him very much, and he's very, very talented in writing also. And then in the Facebook, I see that he's getting out of the closet and living, practicing religion, and divorced from his wife, when I knew that he had 2 children with her, and I met him. So I called him and I said, Tzvi, we have to talk. I want to understand what's going on here. And then we had a very long meeting, and I understood all the process that he was going on with denying his sexual identity. And I said, okay, listen, this is something we have to put on the table. So I said, if you're coming with me, I'm making a movie.
So it took one story essentially for you.
Yes, so I started with him, and then I started to look for another characters, and it wasn't so difficult, because there really are many of them, and I just had to pick the best characters I could find, but there were more that I met, and it is really a big phenomenon, and a story that is going on. Because if you are religious and you find out that you are attracted to men to the same sex, or a woman to, and so this is the worst thing you can have as a religious. This clash of identities is unsolved. So many times they solve it by denying. Okay, they said, okay, I'm attracted to men, but I can overcome it. It's something very bad I want to do, but there are many people who want to do things that are not appropriate. So they have to overcome it and be just what they believe, and to be normal. And speaking about Tzvi, he shared with his wife before they got married. He told her, I'm attracted men, and I have this problem, and I went to a psychologist, and and she said, but are you attracted to me?
Mm.
And he said, to you, yes, because really I'm looking for the meeting with you. And you know, religious people do not have sex relations before they get married.
Mm. Mm.
So we have a common language, and we can speak openly about everything, and I feel very good, so I want to be with you. And for him this was enough to say I'm attracted to you. But after they get married and they have 2 children, and in the time she feels that she doesn't have from him, he can't give her what a woman wants. And I'm not talking about sex relation. I'm talking about emotions. They don't have this attraction that she can feel that he's with her, and in his emotion, in his desire to be with.
It seems that there's like this dilemma between those 2 impossible choices, which are not really a choice. And I think it's also very telling that for you, it took that one story in the past of your one student to well, open up to this whole idea of being an Orthodox Jew and being queer at the same time. And so it feels like people need that one story told to them once, and then they see that there's basically this whole world of identities out there. And what is interesting, I think, is that the film also sparked community outreach projects, especially in the US, and created an opportunity for people with the same fears and worries to come together and, like you said, speak up about it. But it also aired on television in Israel. Maybe you could talk a little bit about the response so far.
Okay, well, before the film was screened the first time, we had in the TV, in the news, they were talking about the film. And after this program, I got a phone 5 minutes after it was first time in the television just talking about the film. I have a phone call, and there was a mother who said, my daughter is going to get married to such marriage in 2 months. So I said, okay, what can I do? What can I help? She said, maybe you can talk to her. I said, okay, but if it's in 2 months she's getting married, I don't believe she will want to talk with me. And she then didn't come back. But really, it had a huge impact, because everywhere I see, it was in festival, and it was screened, and all the time I'm invited to show this film in places. And everybody knows about this film in the religious community. Even people who didn't see the film, they know about it. So I think I made my job, because now I got phone calls from a psychologist that and she said, I have a girl that she's 29, and now she find the guy, but he said that he's attracted to men. So what am I going to do? I said, I'm not a professional, but if you ask me, I have many characters like this who, so go and see the film, and you know what you're going into.
Speaking about kids at that point, so in the end, it seems like it's the children at the horse riding who seem to be having the easiest conversation about the whole, after 60 minutes, the whole topic. For them, it's just very simple, it seems. And on the polar opposite, there's this woman who revisits the rabbi, who once told her the best way to deal with her dilemma is to get married to a man. So generally, what makes their attitude so different? And do you, after talking with so many people about it from the communities, do you see generational differences? or differences within those generations between them?
I don't know. I think now things are starting to be open, because I think 10 years ago, I couldn't make this film. We're all going through a change that is going through the Orthodox religious community, and generally things are opened with the social media. So this is the time that I could open this issue, and people can speak openly with their faces on, and bring this. I think this is what the documentary is about, to open things for the future, not to tell about the past. And I think that really, after I made this film and the talking about, well, really, I was afraid that people will attack me
Mm.
because of making this film, but it was very minor, you know. Most of the people said, wow, this is important. I think mainly because I made this film to protect our daughters and from this marriage, and our sons from marrying a woman who are not supposed to be married to men.
Were you, because you also talked a lot with the ex-spouses of the
Yes.
well, ex-husbands then who turned who ended the marriage in a divorce. Did you also talk with the ex-partner of the lesbian woman, who, or was it more difficult?
That's a very good question, because when I made the film and I talked to the lesbian women, I thought that the men took it very lightly, you know. They all got married and they all made their families again, not like the woman partners who for many years cannot, because of the trauma, they cannot get married. So I thought that this is not an issue about the man who was married to lesbian woman. And then the movie came out, and I got in the Facebook a very angry post from a man who said, I was married to a lesbian woman, and you cannot imagine how many psychologist treatment I had to go over before I could marry a woman, and what trauma it was for me. So I said, do you want to participate? And I will add something to the movie, but he wasn't there. But then I understood that it was a mistake, because I should have also looked for the men who were marrying. It's the same. It's the same trauma.
And I think the movie is an excellent conversation starter. I think at one of those table talks, one rabbi at the end says, I can't enter your brain. And this is really
Yes.
what the issue is about. And throughout the film, there's this really, what I found very, very difficult to watch, conversations about sexual orientations being an abomination or being a choice. And there's, as a viewer, the sense of wanting to shake these people and say, no, it's not a choice and not an abomination. So maybe moving to a more general level, how do you think can film or documentary film specifically teach people empathy?
I think by meeting with the people and feeling them. And if documentaries and also films are moved by emotions. So I didn't want to bring just information, and to feel the people and to connect to their emotion situation. I think this is the only way to influence people, to bring them to know these people from the most close way I can bring them to the camera. With they have their privacy, and I don't want to go to places that are embarrassing, but to have this balance in one way, to get very close to them and to keep their dignity, to keep their way. So really, in the film, I wanted to show that homosexuality is not, and LGBT it's not a matter of sex, it's a matter of existence, of identity. And when you understand that, it's not so threatening. You know what I mean?
Very much, yes. Yeah, thank you so much. In your previous film as well as in Marry Me, however, you also deal so much with polar opposites. Do you already have something in mind that you're currently working on that you maybe want to talk about?
What do you mean? The next movie?
Yes, or the next.
The next movie will be about sexual education, because in this film I understood that most of the problems is because we are not speaking openly in the education about these issues. So I'm going to check out how are we raising our children and educating them and speaking with them openly about what they are going through with their inner life about this, and are we preparing them properly to live their sexual healthy life when they grow up.
Wow. Yeah, we're looking forward to what that is going to look like. Thank you so much for taking the time today, and looking forward to the next project. Thank you so much, Mr. Vardi.
I will submit it to you.
That sounds great.
Thank you very much.